Hey, Web Squadroners. Web Squadroners? Does that even sound right? How you all doing? It's Imran, Web Squadron. Hope you're all okay. It is. What day is it? Is it Tuesday or is it Wednesday? I don't even know what day it is. Does anyone else have this problem where they forget what day it is? What day is it? I don't even know. I'm having to literally check my phone. Wednesday. It's Wednesday. I'm losing my mind. Hey, Tice, how you doing? Busy morning. I hope everyone's doing okay. I've been recording a few tiny little short videos that I'm going to be putting out onto YouTube Shorts and TikTok very soon. Having a great conversation with Paul, Dave Foy, Jeffrey, and a few others about some things as well. So yeah, it's been a pretty good day so far. Just finalizing a few little projects. I'm hoping that we'll have a client get back to us, and I'm just waiting to receive payment for a video that someone wants us to create on a plugin, which I don't mind supporting because a plugin I've used, but it's not a video that will be on my channel or anyone else. It's just a video for their stuff, and that is going to actually be part of one of my topics that I'm going to be talking about today, by the way. Yeah. So hey, Pixar, how you doing? Pixar's now live, and in fact, Pixar's in my ears. Are you there, Pixar? How you doing? So this is gonna be a strange one because I've actually got Pixar in my ear, so you can't see him. So while I'm talking, this is gonna say, I mean, Pixar, this is gonna be weird. Make sure you've muted the YouTube Pixar, okay? Otherwise, you're going to get this weird feedback. So just want to say hi to Brian, B Informatica, Critical Worth, Erling, Caripos, Gary from Visual Media, Dave Den, Charlie B, great to see you again, Fat J, and yeah, and Tice have already said hi to. So quick thing here. Fat J says, did you make an add to calendar button so a user can add it to the iCal format? Oh, I use Calendly. I mean, Pixar's on here. By the way, Pixar might write comments, but he might talk in my ear as well. So, Pixar, while you're on my ears, do you use Calendly? I'm asking Pixar if he uses Calendly, okay? He never uses it. Okay, he never uses it. So I got a question for all of you, okay? And I'd love to get your take on this. And I'm not going to use what you say to influence me, because I don't care what you all say. I'm joking, I do care what you say. But if like you were approached by a company ever in the future to do a promotion, not a promotion, wrong word, a review of their plugin or their template or their theme, say, how much would you ask? How much would you ask in return as almost like compensation or remuneration for your time? Say they want a 5-minute video. If any of you, and I know a lot of you don't do YouTube videos or stuff like that, but it might not even be just a YouTube video, it might be a blog post. So please make clear in your reply to me if you would charge for a blog post or a video. But if you were going to do a YouTube video, 1 minute, 5 minutes, something like that, what would you go for? What would you go for? I agree with what Brian's just put there. I'm not sure having Pixar in my ear is a positive influence. I'll tell you what, me and him could be talking about Uranus for all you know, all over again, continuing yesterday's conversation. Uranus. Do you know what? It's one of the things I've always debated in my head for about 30 years, and it's something I've never really spoken about publicly because some people look at you funny. What do you mean Uranus? But it was an interesting one. So let's just try and, well, there is no by the way, Tice, you're going for €1 million for Pepsi. Think of it like let's say there was a new company that's created a page speed booster, let's just say, or they've created something that optimizes images, a plugin or a website. If they were going to ask you to promote it as a video or something like this, what would you do? Now, I just want to clarify for Jake. He's asking, what is this about Uranus? Uranus. I was asking yesterday, Jake, was how do you pronounce it? I say Uranus. So Jake, Uranus. Other people would say Uranus, but Uranus sounds a bit like urinal. Think about it. Uranus sounds like urinal, whereas Uranus is talking about the other side of your body. So if you say Uranus, it's the front end. If you say Uranus, it's the back end. Where are we going with this conversation? Where are we going with this? So yeah, I would love to know if you were approached by a company to do a blog post or a video, 1 minute, 5 minutes, something like that. And obviously there would be time for you to look at the product. You know, you might not even have used it before. By the way, I would always say use your credibility and integrity. Don't just because someone pays you do a video on a product if you don't like it. I'll tell you now, I will never ever do a video or talk about a plugin or anything ever. Like I did a video on Hue Mint yesterday. They didn't ask me. I found it, I used it, I loved it. But if they had asked me, if I didn't like it, I would not do a video. Doesn't matter what you pay, I am not going to be promoting to you or anyone else out there, because you've got to be honest here. If I go and say, hey, GoDaddy is the best hosting provider ever. Do not listen to George. Do not listen to anyone. GoDaddy is the bee's knees, right? Someone out there might go and use it. Right, Pickstar? Yeah. I mean, Pickstar's telling me he loves GoDaddy. No, just going to check the comments coming over here. Exactly, Jake. It is your anus, okay? So, yeah, right. Just going to check a comment here. Pickstar just says, I think they wanted to look deeper into RM first. I think Imran... is that a question, Pickstar? So you've said, I think they wanted to look deeper into RM first. Oh, yeah. So I'll let you know what happened with that is, so we got some further information where basically what's happening is Rank Math aren't actually doing anything wrong. So even though the questions they ask go live on Google, what they're doing is they're allowing people the questions become part of the knowledge base. So it's a bit like Reddit, where someone puts a question on Reddit and it's visible on Google, right? Or any search engine. What they have said is they have tried to say to people, stop putting on personal info. But in a way, you know, whenever you go to like a plugin on the WordPress repository and they have the support tab, sometimes people put their credentials in there, don't they? And it's like, why did they do that? So I think it's like what Rank Math are saying is, it's not completely their fault. They're trying to stop it. But the trouble is, though, people put their credentials... I mean, I've seen... I remember someone did it on the Facebook Elemental group once. They literally put a screenshot of their login. The password was, starred out. You couldn't see the password, but they gave you their full login. And it was a bit like, why are you doing that for? It's not too bad. So in a way, from a Rank Math point of view, we thought about, was like, is it fair? Do we really want to create hysteria when actually, when you look deeper into it, it's not that big a problem and it's not their fault? Just check the questions. So Brian, yeah. So if, like, for instance, a company pays you to do a video or something like that, because they're going to pay for your time, what would you ask for? So I'm going to put out some figures here for you. Would you go... In fact, should we do a poll? Should we do a poll here? Let's do a poll. Let me create a poll question. Yeah, let's do it. Pickstar agrees, by the way. How are you doing, though, Pickstar? Are you feeling good today? Oh, yeah. So I'm going to say, what would you charge... what would you charge a company to... Well, how am I going to phrase this right? What would you charge a company if they asked you to produce a video? And I'm going to say a 5-minute video, okay? I'm going to say 5-minute video. And the options I'm going to give you are, well, you'll see them in a minute. I'll put them in dollars. Okay, and I'd love to see where you go with this. Okay, I'd love to see. I don't know, how many options am I allowed? I think yeah, let's go with 4. You know, and I'd love to see what do you put. I'd love to see what you put. So remember, this is like a 5-minute video. I've just put a poll on there. Hopefully you can see the poll. What would you be going for? And we'll review that as we go along. And the only reason I'm asking this is because it's something that is becoming a little bit more common. And let me explain. I have had quite a few companies and people approach me quite regularly. And some of them can be very nasty when you start to talk about prices. So I've had companies contact me and they go, we love your content, we love what you do, we want to use you. I then get back to the SodaStream and I go, okay, and there's a cost. And what they say is, we're not going to pay you, but we're going to give you an affiliate link. Hey, Peter. And what I try to explain to them is your affiliate link is worth less than my bottle over here. Because for your affiliate link to be worth anything, I've got to sell. Well, a lot of people have got to buy it. And the problem with an affiliate link is it can affect how you do your video. So let's just pretend I'm going to do an affiliate link for SodaStream. I know that I will make no money unless you use that link. So I will now do a video where I am going to falsely make it sound better than anything you've ever had. This is amazing. This is the best drink in the world. This will make you live longer. You will live into the third millennia or whatever. I will be talking garbage because I really, really, really want you to buy it. Otherwise, I make no money. And that's why I don't like doing affiliate links. Yes, I have Elementor. Yes, I have Rank Math, I think. Yes, I have Bertha. You click it. That's up to you. I'm not going to force it on you. I have them because I use them and I believe in them. But some companies, they approach me and they go, we love you. We love your channel. We love your content. We love everything you do. But when I then tell them, right, the cost of a video, let's just pretend $300, $200. They then say to me, you are not worth that. You only have... I remember this happened when I had about 6,000 subscribers. We're going back a while. And they said, you've only got 6,000 subscribers. My reply to them was, you came to me. I didn't come to you. You came to me. But they get quite funny about that. I love what Brian's just said there. Suppository. I missed that one, Brian. Yes, about Uranus, the WordPress suppository. Yeah. So we've got a spammer appeared on here. I'm just gonna block them completely. Boop. There you go. So someone made a comment on there that we've completely blocked out now, and I'm gonna remove them as well. There we go. Just looking at the comments on here. Let me just look at the comments on the poll. So far at the minute, most people are going with the $500 for a 5-minute video. I can tell you now from experience, a lot of people out there, a lot of companies, the minute you go over $300, they start to get defensive about what they want. Oh, but we can get it for cheaper. And my reply is, well, go there then. What have you come to me for? Exactly what Pixar just said in my ear there. Go to Fiverr. That's what I say. I said, why have you come to me for then? Like, if you want me to do it for a lower price. And the reason I'm talking about all of this with videos is because in a metaphorical way, it relates to what do you charge for a website? Do you get what I mean? So someone will approach you. They really want to work with you. They want you to help them out. They've heard about your reputation, but they want to go like that. And I always say to them, I'm really sorry. I'm not going to knock it back. Or I might say, okay, I'll give you a bit of a discount, but you do not get a video revision. You get the video, edited, all of that, but it won't be revised. By the way, if I haven't said hi Amber, hi Richard, hey Greg, just checking the comments coming in. Exactly. Hey, George. By the way, George, I've got Pixar in my ear, so you know where you need to go if you want to jump into the conversation. But if you're working, George, or doing something, don't do that, all right, my friend? You know the drill. You know the drill. Yeah, Pixar makes a great comment there. Think of a TV commercial, right? If you get like a 1-minute TV commercial made on PowerPoint compared to a TV commercial made by Steven Spielberg, what are you paying for? What are you getting? I'm not Steven Spielberg, but it does matter, right? Exactly, Peter. Very good point by Peter as well. Because if that video is only ever going to sit on YouTube, you might have so much of an audience. If that video is going to now sit on Facebook and TikTok and other social media, there's a bigger audience. Maybe they'll put that video as part of their website. So I didn't know this until I think someone on here pointed it out to me. I think it was you, Pixstar, maybe. bulkresizePhotos.com. I did a video. I never asked them. I just did a video and then they literally put it on their website. There's even some WordPress plugins out there where I've done a video for free. I never asked for a penny. I just did it. And they've literally put my video on their WordPress repository. So when you go to the plugin, it's there. I don't mind because it works for me as well because it gets my face out there. But yeah, it's a funny world with how it's just a funny world with how some people behave with, like, they want you to work with them, they want your services, but then they don't like the price or the cost. And this relates to logo design, graphic design, doing web design, SEO, page speed performance. It's all over the place. You know, we had an email on the weekend where someone has said that their previous web design has gone AWOL. They've gone AWOL. And they would love to work with me where they have me on a retainer where I will support them. And I told them what the cost was. They came rushing back. That's way more than what I was paying my other designer. It's almost like, well, hold on. You're comparing me to your other designer who went AWOL, number one. And number two, I don't even know who your previous designer was. I've looked at their website. It ain't all that. I have to be honest, it needs a lot of work and improvement. The page speed is awful as well. So it's like going, so because I've given you a cost, you're now comparing that to what they were charging. And I don't want to say it's disrespectful, but it's really funny, isn't it? It's like, say you got a window cleaner and he does a shit job, doesn't clean your windows properly, right? You look like, you go, what have you done? It's all smeared. And you go to another company and you know they do a good job, but you're trying to argue with them and say, I am not going to give you $40 to clean my windows. I'm only going to give you 10 because that's what I paid my last one. But your last one was shit. So do you want shit or do you want Uranus? What do you want? Uranus or shit? Where are we going with this, people? Yeah, so just to answer Jake, yeah, it's a private chat thing, by the way, but don't worry. There is a danger. I hope people, please don't anyone feel left out, but there is a slight danger that if there's too many people in it, it could become a mass orgy, all right? And I don't want Web Squadron to become an orgy. My subscription rate will go through the roof, right? It'll be like, psh, right? Literally like that. Yeah. Yeah, look, yes, Pixar's just said that. We're at the Uranus, right? And we are now at the tip. We are at the event horizon, right? You ever wanted to see a black hole, right? You ever wanted to see what happens when light cannot escape? There you go, Uranus. Do you know what? One day I'm going to create a film. One day I'm going to create a film or a YouTube channel called Uranus. No, not a good idea, is it? Not a good idea. Right, okay. No, astronomy, yes. Richard, if you're following SaaS standards that produce top-notch results, you have to charge top-notch. Absolutely, Richard. And, you know, it's... I think web design is such a weird world in terms of pricing. For instance... God, I think we're going back to where we were yesterday, aren't we, with all of his Uranus stuff. If you look at plumbers, right, in the UK, even though all of them are different, the price point is relatively the same for fixing a tap, doing a boiler, servicing the boiler. The same with electricians. The prices will vary, but they're roughly around the same point. With web design, the prices are all over the place, aren't they? Not just, and I don't mean geographically. I'm talking about in your own country, in your own city. The prices are all over the place. A lot of it is because a lot of the work can be done online, so someone doesn't have to come to your house to design a website. So I get that. But because there is no official baseline, which I totally get why we don't, I totally get it, we have this huge fluctuation. And so the point of why I did the poll, when I get these companies contacting me, and I kid you not, one company last night, literally last night, was offering $100 for 2 videos, each of them 3 minutes, so 6 minutes, 3 minutes each, $100. And I was like, no, because they're going to use those videos on a course. And the people that wanted the video, I looked at one of their courses because they sent me a link. They usually get like 4,000 to 5,000 people buying their courses. And I was like, so you're going to offer me $100 to help promote that? Because what have you based that on? And they literally came out with, well, we've used people in the past to do this. And I was like, well, why you come to me for? And then they said, if we don't like it, you have to re-record it. So I was like, right, so you want 2 videos, total $100. And if you don't like it, I've got to re-record, edit, and produce it again. And it was like, you are disrespecting my time. It wasn't even $200 Kickstart. It was $100 for both in total, which is like $50 per video. And it was like, this is baloney. Yeah. Oh, yes, Pete, you do make a point, Peter. Yeah, I should have mentioned, Peter. I was talking about residential house, like a 4-bedroom house. You make a very good point, though. Let me just check the comments coming in. Just check the comments. Do you know, I'm really bad at this. You know, when you're talking, you get carried away, and then you got to go and see what someone has said. So Brian bought a beer in Australia 2018. Really? What do you mean? You should have it paid off within 3 more years. What are you talking about, Brian? What do you mean 3 more years? How big was it? So at the moment, we have 42% of people going with $500. We have about close to a third going with $1,000, and we have the remaining roughly third. We're looking at about 3 to 100. I would love to charge 1,000. I would love to charge 500, but there is this little bit of a dodgy feeling with some people out there where they expect things for a very, very low cost, which irritates the life out of me. Because when you design a logo, when you design a website, even when you do a discovery meeting, which we touched on a couple of days ago, if you do a discovery meeting where you are now going over the spec, the content, the images, and all of that, you may use up 1 hour of your time. And in that 1 hour, the customer will make notes and run away and go use someone else. And they'll take all of your intelligence that you gave away for free. And this is why when you do a discovery meeting, it's a difficult conversation to have if you've not done it before. Because you're now saying to someone, I will talk to you, we will go over the spec, but you have to pay for my time. I mean, who here has a problem with that? Does anyone have issues with doing that? And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not criticizing, but does anyone have an issue with? Does anyone have an issue with making that? What would I call it? That icebreaker. So you might have exchanged emails. You might have had a quick 1-minute conversation to understand what their business is and whatever. But when you're now going into the when you're now entering, hey Mark, when you're now entering that conversation, when you go, right, it's going to cost £120, say $120 or $200, whatever, for your discovery. I know you're okay with it, Peter. I know you're okay with it. Does anyone here have a problem with that? No. Pixar says no. By the way, whatever Pixar says to me on here, I'm not going to say out loud. But Pixar, what do you have a rough price, or does it differ between people? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I go in with a flat cost. So we at the moment, really, Greg, $500 for your favorite drink for 2 years. Ah, but yours is delivered. That's probably why. That's probably why. That's probably why. Yeah, so our consultation charge is £120, which is about 130, $135, I think, when I do the conversion at the moment in time. So £120. So if we're going to do a discovery meeting, it might be that discovery meeting is a 1 hour consultation call in a way. So it'll be £120. And I've had clients who are happy to do that. At the same time, I've also had clients who kind of run away at that point. And that sometimes makes me understand them a little bit more. Especially when one of them, and I've talked about this story quite a lot, one of them was an architect. And this architect made very clear on his profile that if you want a meeting with him, and you want him to come to your house, or you want to have a video call to talk about your house extension and what you want, you had to pay for it. Otherwise, you just have a quick 5-minute email exchange. 5-minute email exchange, that's it. Free. But if you want to have a proper detailed conversation before they went and did your plans, and you paid or commissioned them for it, you have to pay for that meeting. And they were totally happy with that, charging other people. But the minute a web designer says, we have a discovery call, they were like, what? And off they ran. And I found it hilarious. Same with lawyers. I've had a solicitor's firm, where they actually got really angry with me on the phone. Like, how dare you? How dare you? Who are you? Are you working from... I mean, this was on the phone. They didn't even see me. They were like, are you working from your bedroom? You know, you're not even in a proper office like us. We have a big office. I have loads of staff. How dare you charge us for a 1 hour call? And I was like, yeah, but if someone wanted a divorce, you might give them a leaflet or quick tips, 2-minute phone call. But are you going to spend an hour with them for free? That's none of your business. It's like, well, actually, it is, but, so, is that how it is whereabouts you live, Pickstar, as well? Is it like that for you? Yeah. Yeah, just reading Critical Worth. You make a good point there, Critical Worth, about do's and don'ts, because I'm planning to redo our website. I'm just trying to find time. I have been debating whether I redid our website in bricks, but then I thought, what? Pixar just gone, yes. But the reason why I'm a little bit hesitant on it is just I could do it on a staging site, and there's loads of pages and stuff, and my only worry is because we have clients, web design, changes, YouTube, videos, all of that, trying to fit all of that in, I feel like it could just never get there. So for now, I might just redo it in Elemental. But one day, when I know I've got that opportunity and you all abandon me, and nobody watches our YouTube live chats and our videos, and everyone hates me, then I may go into it. If you have not hit like at this moment in time, right, get your finger out of Uranus, the planet, I'm talking about the planet, work it out metaphorically how you want, and click that like button, because it helps the YouTube algorithm. What it means is when someone goes to YouTube, if they are connected to you via whatever way, YouTube are more likely to show that person our channel because you've liked it. And also, the more likes and comments we get, etc. like that, YouTube see it as a good thing and they're more happy to promote it. But if we don't get a good like hit rate, YouTube don't see it as important. So please, please, please do that. I will not be sending you any money. I don't care if you hit like and fall off your chair and faint. I don't care. Just hit the like button. Okay, it's massively important. Yeah, it's good to read what Peter is saying. Hey Rajat, sorry if I haven't said hey to you. Really sorry, Rajat. You've said it twice. Because I'm talking and I've got loads of stuff on my screen, I switch to look at the chat and then I miss things. So really, really sorry, okay? Pixar knows what I mean though. So many times Pixar says hey and I forget to say hey back to him and he sits there going, huh? Can't he see me? And often I can see it. I just keep forgetting. No. I mean, Kester, your website is pending more than 2 years. I think that's... what I will say, yeah, is that if you don't work on your website because you're busy, good. Maybe you don't need to work on your website that much then because you're obviously doing okay or word of mouth is working for you. But if you have the opportunity, go for it. So Rajat's question there, are you affected by the pound fall? In actual fact, Rajat, it actually works out better for us. Well, okay, it works against us and for us. So let me explain. We are due our Elemental Pro license renewal in 30 days. In 30 days. So now, the $199 from Elemental, when we convert it to pounds, it means that we'll be paying about, I don't know, 185-ish, I think, 185, 190. Fine, that's okay. So it goes against us a tiny bit. However, I have got clients in America, when they pay, so let's say, let's just pretend they were paying $1,000 for something, right? The old conversion rate meant we would get about £750, £800. Now if they pay $1,000, we will get about £900. So when it's people paying us, we get more. When we are paying others, we pay more. But it's all kind of balanced out. If I'm really honest, if we were importing loads of goods, it would be a problem. If we were importing loads of goods, it'd be a problem because we'd be paying. But if we're exporting so people are paying us, it actually works out better. So depending on your economy and where you are, it kind of evens out, to be honest. So... No, don't worry, Pixar. Yeah, so Jake, 100. Well, to be honest, Jake, the way I work out the £120, it's like a full-on consultation. It's a video call. It's like going through, like, I mean, obviously, before we do that, I will ask them to just tell me a bit about their business. Have they got any ideas? What are they trying to achieve? So that when we get into the call, if they mention to me they were a hotel, I will already have had a think about different solutions. And we can talk about that, different plugins. Have they already got a website? If they have, I will say to them, give me the URL so I can look at the page speed performance. I can form an idea in my head with how much work is required. If it's a brand new website, are they already on social media? Have they got a logo? Can I detect the brand of the color from the logo or any of their social media, for instance? Can I find them on the web? So if I have a name and a company name, can I find them? Is there an image? Or are they the sort of person that hides? You know when you see web designer websites and there's no picture of them whatsoever? Hey, I'm a web designer. My name is Atif. Atif does have his face, by the way. My name is Atif. But there's no picture. I'd be like going, well, who's Atif? Who is he? I don't know who you are. So sometimes an image or something can help. But then but it allows me to understand more about them. So if there's no image, I can in my head formulate an idea that maybe they are shy. Maybe they don't like to put their face out there. So does that change the way I'm going to approach the website? Does their social media profile have images or not? Are they good with social media? So all of this stuff, and you're only going to spend about 15 minutes on that, but it means that when we get into that £120 call, we hit the ground running rather than, have you got social media? Okay, have you got a Twitter account? Do you have a photo? if you can go in with that homework already in, you don't spend more than 20 minutes on it, right? Before you get to the meeting, you can hit the ground running. Right, here's what we do. Here's how we approach it. I've looked at your website. Here's your problems. You're not preloading your font. You're not doing this. You're not doing that. I can see by scanning your website, you got too many plugins in, stuff like that. And £120, Jake, in the UK might sound like a lot. However, it does depend on how you position yourself. So if you're going to design a website for £200, $200, no one's going to pay $120 for a discovery. But if you say your basic website starts from £920, which is about $1,000 roughly, that £120 or whatever you charge, that consultation cost, I will take off the cost of the website build. Does that make sense? So you've already included it within your website cost in a way. So what you're saying to them is, the cost of the website is $920, but if we have that consultation call to make sure we're on the same road, you know, make sure things are right, make sure we're going to get a plan in place, and you go ahead with it, you will pay $800 because the $120 now comes off the $920. Some people won't like it. I totally get it. Hey, Eddie, some people really, really, really won't like it. But that's just the way it is. And it allows me to kind of vet or siphon off who is serious or who isn't. Very true, Richard. I could pay someone to do it in bricks as well. I could do. But then I'd have to give them access to all of our secret stuff in the back end, Richard, which might be a bit dangerous. Exactly. Yeah, no, I'm glad you agree, Richard, as well. Because if the company has got a really good online presence and they're on LinkedIn and they're everywhere, you know that when you start to talk to them about SEO, Google rankings, they get it. If you're working with a business who has no Facebook page, no Twitter, no LinkedIn, and they want to sell something and they want to be at the top of Google, you know there's going to be more work. So you price accordingly. Hey, George. Listen, George, whether you shave or not, your face will always... Hey, you're on YouTube, for God's sake. Your face is out there. You're on there. Exactly, George. You know, I mean, it all depends, though. You're like me, George, in a way. You know, like when a video comes out, has he shaven? Has he trimmed? Has he just let the hair go? What's going on? You know? Eddie, you've not missed much. We've got a poll going on. I'd love to know, like, if someone approached you, Eddie, to do a blog post about a plugin or a video and they were going to pay you, what would you ask them? What would you ask them? You probably would, George, as well. Oh dear, Eddie. Oh dear, Eddie. Yeah, we're back in the club, everyone. The Ass Club is alive and kicking. So, Mark, it's less about the time it takes and more about the value and knowledge. Exactly, yeah, exactly. And if you imagine, look, and this all plays into what I call educated proposals. Imagine a customer is like, he's got 5 web designers on his mind. Who's he going to use? Cheap Fiverr, who just say yes to everything. Yeah, we'll do your website. Yeah, we'll do it. They'll do your website. Then you have different web designers with like $50, $200, $1,000, $20,000, whatever. And they all start to talk to the customer. Sending a questionnaire is not a bad idea. However, they might get 5 questionnaires from 5 different companies, which could be overkill, but questionnaires not bad. But if you can get enough out of them and you have that 1-hour consultation call and you now are telling them, right, that here's what we need to do. I've looked at your social media. You're using Facebook more than LinkedIn, but your clients, your business clients, are probably going to be more on LinkedIn or Twitter or Instagram or Facebook. You're spending more time on your social media talking about the economy, the politics, the government, Donald Trump, Labour Party, Conservative. You're doing more of that. There is a danger that if you do that, you're putting off people that may be wanting to use you. Look, here's something that I hope you do notice. If you go to my social media, I do not ever mention, do I like Brexit or not? Do I like Conservative or Labour? Do I like Donald Trump or not? Do I like Joe Biden or not? What do I think about wars? I try to be neutral. I don't like what's going on in Ukraine. I really don't. And I have made a comment about that, but I try to be very neutral, and here's why. There could be someone out there who wants a website and they might be put off. Now, that being said, if anyone comes to me and I find out that they're involved in anything dodgy, anything dangerous, anything illegal, anything racist, sexist, anything like that, ageist, I won't work with them. I don't care how much they're paying, I won't work with them. But sometimes doing a bit of homework look, if a company came to you right now for a website and you knew they had a logo and you knew they had a colour branding, does that now start to formulate ideas in your head about what the website's going to be? Whereas you have someone, I want a website. Okay, what's your website going to be called? I haven't decided on my company name. What about your logo? Oh, I don't know. You know you've got a heap of work. And so you have two options. You either price it high, and if they don't want to use you, fine. Yeah, or do you just start to break it down? Yeah, or run away, Pixar says. Or do you start to give them a breakdown? So you go, look, there's a lot of work here involved here. Do you want us to help you with your logo? Here's a cost. Do you want us to help you with sorting out your colour palette and your branding? There might be a cost. Have you got a domain and hosting? We won't buy it. You've got to get it, but we'll advise you there might be a cost. Maybe they've already got an email service somewhere else. Do you need to move that over to the hosting provider? There might be a cost. So when you start to think about, when you do just that tiny bit of 15, 20-minute homework before you have that call, that educated proposal. If I was a customer and I was speaking to someone and they knew more about me than I had told anyone else, I'd be like, wow, they know their stuff. They took the time to find out about me rather than, so what do you want? Because if you imagine that customer has spoken to 5 other people, you know when, there's nothing worse than when you have to explain yourself 5 times, is there? You know, like, how to explain it? Let's say you hurt yourself and you go into work and you've been off work for a week. You walk in, hey, I hurt you, what's up, what happened? And you tell them. Then you walk down the corridor, hey, what's up, I heard you hurt yourself, and you tell them. Then you go into the kitchen to get a cup of tea or a Pepsi Max. Hey, I heard you hurt yourself, what happened? Look, I fell on my Uranus, okay? I fell on the anus, okay? All right, it's damaged, I can't go to the toilet, let it go. You sit down, you get an email, hey, how you doing? What happened? Repetition gets you mad. And if you imagine a customer, after the first or second time, they ain't going to want to repeat themselves. They're probably going to be like, you know what, I've made my mind up. Don't want to go there. But if you come up with, here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to offer you. And the fact that they've paid you for that discovery call, if they decide not to use you and they go off and run away and use someone else, who cares? Who cares? You've been paid for that discovery call. So you've made hopefully a profit out of that regardless. And I'm not saying do this because you're scamming money, but no, you're being paid for your time. You're being time. Just checking the questionnaires. Just checking the questionnaires. Checking the questionnaires. Not questionnaires, questions. I said questions. I said the wrong word. Yes, so Raja. I mean, in a way, yeah, Raja. What you can do, yeah, is if you got a customer who's not willing to do a questionnaire or anything like that, what you can do instead is just ask him a simple question. You know, can you just tell me more about your business? And if you are on social media, can you just drop me the links? Just do that. Hopefully they've already got it in their signature. And then all you do is you just do a quick check on Google, go to their links, see what you find out, get a feeling or a feel for what they do, and then you go with there, you know. And believe me, it can make a difference. I had a call with someone who hopefully will use us in a month's time because he's just sorting out some investment propositions from America. I just said to him, like, look, let's do a chat, okay? But you've mentioned you want to do a website. Do you have a couple of websites that you want to not replicate but you like, which are in the same field? He sent me both of them. I looked at them and instantly I got the business. I instantly got it. They were very different websites, but they did a similar thing. You pick your location, you then fill in a questionnaire, you hit send, and someone comes back to them with a quote. Very similar for a very niche area. So when I spoke to them, I said to them, right, my advice to you is don't copy that website because it's old-fashioned. It works. They might get loads of visitors. This website is a lot more modern, but it doesn't do the questionnaire as good as that one. So what you need to do is take the best of both worlds, right? Best of both worlds. Have a modern website, have something that works, that will attract the audience because it was an elderly market, okay? So you can't go too funky. Make it clear and easy. Don't do too much words on it because people lose interest. But make the questionnaire more, more relevant, easier to complete and fill in, and then we go with it. And then you go with that. And he was like, oh, yeah, didn't think of that. And if they then decide to run away and go elsewhere, fine. But that's why the discovery call can be really, really good. Right, let's just check the comments that are coming in. So Jake, he's got a client who is very old school and trying to convince them to use Stripe so they can take payments online. Good. So let me guess, Jake, are they like cash in hand or bank transfer? What are they then, Jake? What are they? Hey, Maddie, how are you? Hope you're okay. By the way, Maddie, I got your email. I have not gone through it. I need to go through your email, okay? I know I was very quick to reply to you yesterday, and then I decided to do something else. But I need to go through your email, so just bear with me, okay? Yeah. Hey, Jimmy, how are you? By the way, Jimmy, I've got Pixar in my ears, okay? I've got Pixar in my ears. All right, so you know where you need to go if you want to do that as well. Yeah, nice, good question from Mark as well. What is the current payment mechanism? I know a lot of people that are very anti-PayPal. And can you please let me know if you are as well, or you have customers that are against it? I mean, I don't get why. I just don't get why. I know people find that PayPal is too controlling. I get that. However, it's worldwide, except I know certain countries can't, but it's technically mainly worldwide. It's easy, it works. If someone pays me from America, it is like that. I kid you not, it's like that, right? Within 5 minutes, it's done. Done deal, right? If anyone does a bank transfer from America, even Germany, right? You know it can get locked down for 2 weeks before you receive the money sometimes. Because it goes through like international finance transfer, to check it's all good and okay and legit and all of that. So does anyone here... I mean, yeah, Jake. So, Jake, I'd love to... By the way, Jake, not a criticism yet, but why don't you use PayPal? Why don't you use PayPal? I mean, you do know, though, that you can have a PayPal... The thing is, though, Jake, I've never had that problem with withholding funds for months and months. I've never had that problem, ever. In fact, I don't even know anyone that has. Is it expensive? I mean, Rajat, though, whereabouts are you based, Rajat? Are you in India? Whereabouts are you based? So I have found... I mean, look, you can have PayPal, right? And if the person paying does not have a PayPal account, it's okay. When they pay on PayPal on WooCommerce, there's a button that says use credit card or whatever it is, checkout. And then they can use their checkout, just like how you would with Stripe. Stripe, however, takes 7 days to pay you. That's my criticism with Stripe. Yeah. Hey, I've just got Georgian. Do you know what? This is really weird now. So not only are we talking about Uranus, we now have George in one ear and Pixar in the other. This is turning into a big time party now. How you doing, George? No. No, good mate. So just reading what Greg says. So Stripe is used by majority. PayPal sucks and takes too much off the top. PayPal do take quite a bit. I really wish they would cut it down. Um, I mean, what I would say, Jake, is if you got a client who's really old school and they don't want to do online payment, there is only so much you can do. And if they are happy or they understand that by doing a online bank transfer or cash in hand is how they want to do it. Oh, sorry, what's that? Oh, I thought someone said something then. But yeah, if someone wants to if your customer doesn't want to go down the online payment route, then fine. You you try and steer them as the expert because that's you're not just a web designer. We are there to educate them on hosting domains. I mean, we one client once they had a really long domain name. I'm not. Well, I'll tell you part of it. The domain was. Let me get this right now. Yeah, it's time for forename, surname, music. So his domain was it's time for forename, surname, music. The forename was 4 letters and the surname was must have been about close to about, let me get this right, 9. So it's time for, all one word, right? No hyphens. It's time for, then you got 13 other letters after that, all one word, music, right? .com. And I said to him, who's going to type that? He goes, oh, I'll give him a link. I went, I said, you do understand Google won't even show your full name properly. If anyone searches for you, your link will get cut off probably because it's way too long. I said, what happens when you now have a page called album music or choreography or whatever? It's time for music.com /. I said, it's just crazy. I said, when you do Twitter and you put in the link in Twitter, it's going to say you've hit your limit and you haven't even typed anything yet. Don't do it. That was a difficult conversation, especially what I found funny though was they hadn't even bought the domain yet, but they were passionate about it. No, I love it. No one's ever done that. And I was like, yeah, there's a reason no one's ever done that. Duh. It's like saying no one's done a domain for I am a twat. Well, yeah, because why would you do that? Why would you do that? So what Mark is saying, Stripe is best unless you have high volume. Yeah, Rajat, conversion rate is higher. Yeah, I mean, I would say, Rajat, go for whatever works for you. I mean, to be honest, on our website, we have a mixture of PayPal and Stripe. So on the Web Squadron website, which I know you all love to go and participate in, where we have the mastery modules and the merchandise, we use a mixture of Stripe and PayPal. So you can have either option, whichever one you want to go for or use. We're still going to pay the commission and take the hit on that and whatever, but it works very seamless for you. The only criticism I have with Stripe is that you have to wait 7 days before you can not withdraw because they automatically send it to you, payments, which for some clients is a little bit of a make or break situation. Eddie, is that the time of day you actually talk? What's he talking about? Me and Mark talk or text or do whatever we want whenever we want, Eddie. We don't have a set schedule. We just whatever is the mood, whenever we want. So Brian is running a lot of call ads right now. Low volume converters, but they're higher lead. Electricians are loving the call only ads. Yep. To be honest though, Mark normally sends messages when he's out running. So very early in the morning when he's out for a run, I think that's when I get his messages. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Jerry, signing up. Yeah. So you would love to learn about hosting other websites. Okay, right. When we first started, Jerry, we were we were obviously reselling SiteGround hosting. SiteGround is great. I love SiteGround. I won't have a bad thing said about SiteGround, okay? However, it slowly dawned on us after a while that even though SiteGround or whoever you use, right, or the company that the infrastructure and you're the middleman, as far as the customer cares, the customer doesn't care about SiteGround, IONS, GoDaddy. They don't care. They're paying you for a maintenance or a care plan. Therefore, if the email goes down, you got to deal with it. The website goes down, the staging site, something goes wrong with the website, the bandwidth. It becomes your problem. And even though you can explain that, well, look, you need to upgrade your GoDaddy package because you're on the basic GoDaddy and really you need to get away from GoDaddy. But if you're going to stay on GoDaddy, you need the deluxe package or whatever. You have to explain that. But sometimes the customer doesn't see it that way. And it becomes your responsibility. And the amount of time that you can spend contacting the host company, the worst ones are the ones that are shut on weekend. They're only open Monday to Friday and they're shut on the weekend. And they shut at 5 p.m. on a Friday. They are the worst. Because when a problem happens on Friday night or Saturday, you are buggered, basically, right? Unless you can get a backup install, activated or whatever, right? So be careful of hosting companies where there's no support system. SiteGround support system is great. 123 don't actually have a bad one either. GoDaddy, when you get through, it's a bit up and down with how good they are. However, reselling, Jerry, you just got to bear in mind though, okay, is that are you here to design websites, manage the website, or are you here to manage the hosting? And if you're happy to lose time on sorting out hosting issues, go for it. So Mark from Wiki Design, okay, he is an expert on hosting. So he might have reselling services, but he's able to get to the nitty gritty of why is there a problem. He knows his stuff about hosting. And if you're happy to do that, go for it. But if not, watch out for it, okay? No, Jake, I do recommend SiteGround. I do recommend it. All I'm saying, though, is that let's say you got a customer and their domain is with 123reg and their email is with BT Internet and their hosting is with SiteGround. You've got to make sure now that their email, the MX, I think it's the MX record. Yeah, it is, yeah, MX record. You've got to make sure that's on the SiteGround. Now, it's easy to do. Believe me, it's easy to do. But if there's ever a problem from the SiteGround site, which never is, or from the BT Internet, do you know how many times the BT Internet thing has messed up? But because we were selling a SiteGround hosting and we moved the email over, like a twat, I went and says, yeah, we'll move your email over, but it still sits with BT Internet, if that makes sense. The minute the BT Internet has a problem, it's your problem. And I was once with a client on a phone call with BT Internet for 3 hours. Just absorb that. Most of it was because I was on hold and then I spoke to them and I got put on hold again. 3 hours. It wasn't SiteGround's fault. It was BT Internet, but it was the MX record and there was something up with it and and the customer's not paying you extra for that. It was an evening time. It was about 5 p.m. in the evening. From about 5 till 8 in the evening, I was like that on a phone call, stuck staring at my screen, trying to sort this issue out. You got no extra money for that. So for me, if you want to do reselling and you're okay with it, with the possible nitty-gritty issues, go for it. SiteGround are super, super reliable. I'll tell you that now. They are super good. Great tech support team. I love them. But just bear in mind, which is why now, yeah, no problem, Pickstar, which is why I don't like to offer that. We will manage the website. We have a care package, but we are not going to manage your hosting because I'll tell you what, there's a world of pain there. And what you might think is a 5-minute solution could turn into 1 hour, 2 hours, something like that. So always bear that in mind. Always bear that in mind. To be honest, Jerry, you could easily have 15 to 20 websites, roughly 20, on a one SiteGround grow big server. You could easily do that. Yeah. I mean, if they are massive shops, you might only get 10 per server because of the number of inodes. SiteGround are very big on the inodes, and they'll tell you about it. So 10 big shops, you might get 10. If you've got like smaller websites, like brochure websites, you could get 15 to 20. Yeah, good point, Richard. I've just seen what you said to Brian about studying the keywords. Yeah, very good, Sinan. Very good, Sinan. About well, here's the thing, Sinan. So what someone did say to me once. Well, this is when we had 6,000 subscribers. Your channel is not as big as so and so. And what I said to them was. So here's my argument, Sinan, and I hope you understand this. So someone said to me, you got 6,000 subscribers when we did. You can't ask us to pay X amount for a video because you're not as big as another company. And I said to them, if I was building a one-page website, whether your income is $50,000 a year compared to someone who is $1 million a year, you're still going to pay $1,000 for that website. So I would almost say that there's always a danger with like valuing just based on the outreach, because at the end of the day, let's just say right now we're over 10,000 subscribers, right? Let's say I do a video for breakdance. Let's say I do a video for breakdance. It ain't happening. But let's say I do a video for breakdance. We only have I only have like 10,000 subscribers, just over, right? So there's only going to be so many views. Might not even be that many views. Who knows? However, that video, breakdance, can stick it on their repository page. They can put it on their website. They can put it on their social media. So the number of subscribers you have on your channels is not irrelevant, but it becomes negligible. Because if breakdance have got, say, if breakdance have got like 100,000 subscribers, they're probably going to share it to their community and their viewers and whatever. So don't always pull your prices down based on what you've got. For instance, I hope George doesn't mind this. Yeah, so George, you don't have to reply to this, right? So George will have so many subscribers. If someone approaches him to a video, does that mean George will do it for $50 or $25 based when you apportion it out? So my argument always is, don't do that, because then all you're doing is bringing yourself down. Because someone could George could do an amazing video, they take it, they stick it on repository, and it causes conversions. But all George got for it was, yeah. Does that make sense, Sinan? So that's the way I look at it. Because believe me, I know people that have taken videos and they've stuck it onto other locations and other places to help their conversion. Good question, though, Sinan. It was a very good question, and I'm glad you asked that. Yep. Just checking the questions coming in. It is Wednesday, believe it or not. Wednesday. Whoa. It is Wednesday. How is your week going? Are you winning? Wednesday is for winning. Today's letter on Sesame Street is the letter W. W for Wednesday. George is asking about Sesame Street. I used to love Sesame Street when I was a little kid. And today's letter is the letter A and the number 10. And then you have the counts from Sesame Street. Hello everybody. Today's number is number 10. We have 10 fingers. We have 10 toes. We have 10 Uranuses. No, we don't. Okay, let me just see what Mark is there. Yeah, that's very true as well. Mark makes a good point. Mutual benefit to both parties as well. And in terms of the cost. The most ridiculous one we had was about, we are now going back to like Christmas time-ish, right? we were about 2,000 subscribers roughly that time, back to Christmas time-ish. And someone said, hey, look, would you do 10 videos for us and we'll pay you like $20 per video? And the videos were like 10 minutes long each, maybe more. And I was like, what? I don't even know what your plugin is. There is one Elementor add-on company, right? I'm not going to name them. There is one Elementor add-on company who are quite big that approached us 2 months ago. And they said they were going to pay us. They wanted me to do about, let's just say about 30 videos. 30 videos, okay? I've never used their plugin before though, but I am aware of them and they are big and they are growing. And they wanted 30 odd videos. It was going to be more than 30, not only for YouTube. So it goes on our channel, it goes on their channel, and it goes in their masterclass as well. They were going to do. And they were going to pay just under $1,000. Now, there's some of you out there would be like, hey, I'll do that. I'll do that for 1,000. But just put it into perspective here. You might lose a day going over the plugin. 30 videos you're not going to record all in one day. That might be 3 or 4 days worth, maybe even 5 days worth of videos. Then you're going to spend 3 or 4 days editing. Now, you might still come back to me and go, hey, for 2 weeks worth, I'll take $1,000. But I was very clear with them, no. That is just way, way too low. The amount of time, and also, don't forget, you might need to revise the video. That's all within the cost. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of effort. And it would also stop me doing anything else. Because I would be on like, oh God, I've got to get these done now. You know, they've paid for it. We've got to drill through them. You feel obligated to do them, right? And I said to him, no. He then said to me, fine. I told him what he does need to pay. And he was like, there's no way we're paying that. Because we are going to get, instead now, another YouTube influencer, who I won't mention, to do it. And they will do it for this amount. So unless you adjust your pricing, we're not going to work with you. And I was a bit like, well, I've already said I don't want to work with you. So I wasn't bothered. But here's the thing. The other YouTube influencer, I also know. So I contacted them and asked them, did they approach you? And they said, yep, they were approached and there's no way they're doing it for them because they don't like the ethics of that company and what they wanted and how they were going to approach it. So if anyone ever says to you, but so-and-so will do a website for half your cost, so-and-so will do my logo like magic, so-and-so will record a video for whatever, unless you've got evidence to back that up, don't fall for it, all right? Don't fall for it. And this company is continuously keeps trying to get me to engage and do stuff with them. And I'm like, no, you know our cost. Until you come up to that, we're not going there, you know, or we'll do some of them, but it's with its cost. And it starts to get a bit ludicrous at the end of the day. Just going back to the poll vote, the poll that we started about 58 minutes ago, we still have the bulk of people going for the $500. I would say to you that for anyone who now wants a 5-minute video, the cost we would be looking at would actually be between the 500 and 1,000 bracket. We'd be going up to 750, 800. And you might look at that and go, that's a lot of money. But I'll tell you now, you may lose a day plotting and planning. And let me show you an example here. Scripting, laying out, getting resources, images, music, stuff like that. You got to watch out for copyright. You got to watch out what you say. You got to be in the right frame of mind. You got to decide on, are you going to talk about the bad points, the good points, and all of that. So I'm going to end the poll now on this because I think we've done it to death now. But I'm glad you all offered your bits of advice on there. But there you can see the results. Sorry, I got this wrong. No, I did say it right. Yeah, the bulk were going for the $500. And then we had, you know, it's almost like a bell end, isn't it? It's almost like a bell end and all of that. Absolutely, John. What I would also say is that whenever you're working with any company, or whether you're designing a website or doing videos or logos or anything like that, what you've really got to think about is where are they based? So if someone is based in America, and I know what our cost is, I'll go onto Google, quickly look at the currency conversion and go with that. Bear in mind, both currency conversions go up and down, so it might swing about, stuff like that. Or, how to explain this? If they're in another country, again, work it out, okay? And then you might need to adjust your price accordingly. But yeah. I have been live now for about 1 hour 10. I hope you've enjoyed chatting so far. This is a 2-minute warning, everyone. 2-minute warning. Just because I've got to go away and edit some stuff. And this is going flat because I'm not drinking it. Please hit like if you haven't already. Sorry, did I say bell end, Mark? So damn sorry, I meant bell curve. The bell curve normal distribution. Did I say bell end? Did I, Mark? I think I did say bell end. I tell you why the word bell end is in my mind. There's so many people that take videos of stuff going out in the streets and they stick them on YouTube or TikTok. You know, like bell ends where they record someone doing something. I hate it when people do that. But yeah. Okay, yeah, Jimmy, you take care, mate. By the way, this is a message to other people who are on my earphones at the moment. When I cut the live, I'll be cutting out of there as well, just because I've got to go just sort some stuff out. And then I've got to crack on with some work as well. A tiny bit of Louis, Mark, but other people as well, all right? Other people. Hey, Jerry, was this really your first time, Jerry? If so, great to have you. Hope to see you back again. The Web Squadron Kickass chat, it's not all just about WordPress and Elementor. We go all over the place. We do talk about different topics and stuff, mainly because we just like to be engaging, you know, and we don't want it to just be boring and all of that. And of course, Uranus. Hey, Indapri, I don't think I said hi to you. I saw your name and I didn't get a chance to say hi. Hope you're okay, my friend. Right, everyone, I'm going to say goodbye to everyone. I'm going to say goodbye to those that are on my ears as well. Take care, Pickstar. Take care, Jimmy. Take care, George. Take care, everybody. Jerry, Eddie, Jake, Inderpreet, Mark, Maddie. I will get back to you, okay? Yes, I do, Maddie. I do. I will get back to you, Maddie. Take care, everyone. Love you all. I don't really, but I love you all. I'll see you all soon. Like, subscribe, share, and follow. Take care. Bye.